All right, welcome to episode 65 of the Happy Hour. Today we have Commercial Roofing and Coating Systems with us out of Ohio. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys.
I'm Brandon. I'm the owner.
I'm Connor. I do sales, estimations, and some operations.
My name's Paul, and I'm a service and sales manager.
What was your guys' first impressions walking into our office?
This is great. Cool place.
Anything that kind of struck you as out of the ordinary walking into our office, or anything that just kind of jumped out at you?
Having a gym and a game room, I guess, for a calling facility.
The gates kind of took me off guard. And if you come into a marketing company, you don't really expect to be coming to a gated facility, but that's different.
Yeah.
It's a real spacious place. And what got me is when we got to look at, I don't know what you guys call it, the pit, or where everybody's interacting in that
Sales floor.
Sales floor, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That was pretty impressive. I've seen one other in my career that operates like that, and it's important. I mean, you got people right next to you. So.
No, and I know Paul mentioned the Christmas tree decorated in shamrocks for St. Patrick's Day. That's, I don't think one you see in every office.
Yeah.
Let's talk about developing, as a company while we've worked together a little bit. From the beginning of working with Arsenal to now, what has changed besides, and your sales strategies altogether? What has the vision changed at all, or have pieces in between changed at all in the last 3 years?
I would say absolutely. Before we had any kind of marketing company, I mean, we basically relied on people calling in, right? From website or just word of mouth, whatever. It's changed the way that I look at how to even operate a company. So, now it's more like how can we do more?
Yeah.
I think what changed is, and Connor's the evidence of this, from when I started in 2020, Brandon's confidence in bringing people on. It's like, yeah, we should get somebody. Maybe we should get somebody we look. No, now we need service people. Now we need salespeople, and that comes from confidence that there's a pipeline. So that's a big, important part of the company that's changed in the 6 years I've been in it.
Okay. And so let's get into more of the sales side or the appointment side. Walking into an appointment, what is the ideal appointment? What are you guys looking for where it looks like it's going to be a solid sale? Or, what are the boxes to be checked? What is your ideal sales appointment for roofing?
I mean, I don't think there's really ever an ideal situation. Every scenario has its ups and downs. But realistically, when you're walking the door, you're trying to figure out why you're there. I mean, you always have notes. You kind of know why you're there, but it's more or less like reiterating the question of why am I here? What do you need, right? You're trying to identify that want, that need, whatever it is, whichever it is, and really, really go from there. And then after that, it's really how can you add value and make the experience better for the customer. Roofers have bad names in general. I'm fourth generation, so I've heard it my whole life, and I kind of try to operate a little differently personally. And from my experience, the easier you can make the experience and the transaction, the better the experience is for the customer. So more or less, it's about solving their problem, but then, tailoring the whole process to what their wants and needs are.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. So do you guys, to move further into that sale, do you guys, how do you go about your competitive bidding? Or you walk in there and they're like, hey, we already have maybe 2 or 3 other bids here. What is your mindset getting into that? Tell us about your strategy a little bit.
Well, I think everybody has a little different strategy. Sometimes I'm a little forthcoming and just tell them where we need to be. Where are we at? You already got numbers. All right, let's just cut to the chase. Where are you at? I can tell you if I can do it or not. It's that simple.
Okay. Yeah.
I think what I've found is on many of the appointments that Matt will set, and I'm thinking of one in our area that was a really large cabinet manufacturer. We walked in the door, and the prospect was really ready to open up. He was approached in a proper manner that he started to dump information on me really quickly. He told me he had a bad situation with the previous roofer. He's looking for another one. It's a massive facility. It's local in our area. Brandon's been in this 19, 20 years and trying to get in there, and we get in there because of his work. And the client is properly, let's call it warmed up, ready to go professionally.
Qualified.
Yeah, and I've been to other places where it's like, oh, I just got overwhelmed. I just agreed to the appointment because, and that's a big difference right there. When you feel like the people that you're working with are like part of your team, that's a big difference that separates people.
Okay. And so let's talk from your perspective, Matt. Working with them, were they your first roofing client?
They were not. They were, I think, my second roofing client I've ever had. The main thing that I got was after setting appointments, I was trying to get feedback very early on, gauging the opportunities. We had some really good ones right off the rip. We had some that weren't so good, and Paul let me know. And that's how we gauge pretty much every appointment moving forward. I know what they like, what they don't like, and that's what we target.
And one thing I'll speak to, and I'm sure Matt can attest to, you guys are pretty good about taking any type of roof, any type of work, which makes our jobs a lot easier. When we have someone that kind of pigeonholes us into one type of material or certain aspects of the roof need to be a certain way, it makes Matt's job a lot harder. So speaking to that, I think these guys are good about being up for pretty much anything, and Matt knows what you like. But if a meeting doesn't go well, they're not coming down on Matt. They understand why he said it. They can listen to the calls if they ever want to and hear what he heard, which is a big part of it too. So.
Okay. And let's get a little bit more into the company. How long you guys been a business, and, tell us about navigating or developing during those times and now.
Oh, gosh. I've been doing this since 2007, and it's not even the same company. I started at a dirt floor garage that we backed a trailer up to and made more room in the garage, we used to travel all over the country for a client fixing their truck terminals, just me and another guy. And I thought that was a big deal, and then we moved on, got a smaller shop in town, and ended up getting rid of my partner and kept going, and here we are,
So are you still in the same now? Are you still in the same market that you started in, or are you way off, or how far are you? Always been in commercial. Used to do some higher end residential, like metal work and stuff. Had the guys for it. I don't have the metal guys like I used to. There's a lot of artwork and that stuff, and they just don't exist around us right now. But we've really transitioned mostly into flat work, single ply membranes and whatnot. I have another company that manufactures parts for the roofing industry, and it's helped us grow quite a bit. So, Okay. And where were you at when you decided, tell us about the mindset you were in when you decided you wanted an outbound lead generation company to work with. What was going on with the company at the time where you were like, this is going to be the change that makes a change?
Well, that wasn't me. So,
okay.
I didn't know nothing about it. I'm, just a dumb roofer that,
Yeah.
trying to
No,
make
you're
a
good.
living. And Paul, he's my father-in-law, and he came from the corporate world, and he's like, where are you getting your leads? I don't know. They call, what do you want? And he said, well, you got to have a lead generation source. I'm like, well, where are you going to find that? So he came up with a couple things, and like, great, do it.
Yeah. So, Paul, did you have experience working with outbound lead generation before this?
I did. I did at a company called Tata Steel, one of the top 5. It's a global company, and they would make calls on behalf of us, and they built steel strip that went into batteries that every one of you have touched in here. But I'll tell you what, they are not even close to the kind of work that we're getting from you guys. They were like, hey, how you doing? Quick calls, week appointments. I was really disappointed in that experience. And big companies have big money, and they let things go for a long time before they rein it in. So when we started looking, I could spot something, but if Brandon wasn't ready at the right time in business to say, we need somebody, we need to improve, we need to enhance, it was as much his timing as me finding the right people. And with that experience, I've seen other lead generation companies, but right now the reason we're here is because of the job that's being done for us.
To kind of circle back, do you feel like you've been able to put together a better picture coming to visit us in person? Do you feel like, okay, we know that these are real people, what they're doing is giving us the results, but how do you feel after kind of coming to see everything in person?
A larger comfort level for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's, you never know with a call center, right? People can be working from home. It's, you never know what you see online. You don't know anything about it. So it's, it'd probably be a good idea to come see them. And yeah, it's good for a company to have overhead. It's good for a company to, have people all in the same area and working together. And I mean, you guys got it going on here.
Okay. So now back to your business, what do you see in the next 5 years for your company? If you had to just broadly, this is what I'm aiming for, what would that be?
I would like to be able to double our service division, and it'd be nice to be running another crew or two on production.
Okay. Yeah, I was talking to Paul a little bit about expanding into other markets and stuff like that. Do you feel like that's something that you're looking into, just growth and expand in general, or hammer it home and home base?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know just in recent times, I mean, we've done jobs out of state, and we've been moving around to 2 to 4 hours out, and, I could see us growing out in different areas eventually. Yeah.
Okay.
Connor, you're new to the team. Well, no, it's coming up on a year, but I mean, you've had experience in other areas. You got experience in service, on the roof, in sales. What are you thinking it looks like to you? We're not that large of a company now, but what do you think about our prospects for the future?
So, I mean, I can equate that back to a few personal advice that I give a lot of people. You got to take care of your house first, right? So you worry about home base, get that, to where you want it, whether, it's what you envisioned or what you ended up with. You get it to a spot where you're comfortable enough to where you can go out and you plant your seeds elsewhere, per se. So, after we build out and, we sort of perfect the process where we're at now, I'm from Toledo. I have connections in Columbus. I like to travel. I have friends up in Michigan. It's like I have connections in other places that could lead us in other places, but it's kind of a team effort. Where do we all see it going? There are service guys that are in the Cleveland Akron area, but they're not going to be able to travel up to Detroit if I sell some repair work up there. So it's more or less, build out your house and then go plant your seeds somewhere else. Make sure this ship's running before you go plant your seeds to build another ship somewhere. So I think we got some hurdles to overcome, but it's nothing that can't be done. In the next 5 years, I can see us, eyeing another brick and mortar after we built another book of business in another city. I mean, I'm from Toledo. It's just the other side of the state. So what I foresee is us, focusing on Western Pennsylvania and Eastern Ohio. And then after we pass a certain goal, step out into Western Ohio and potentially reach up into Michigan and to Indiana That's what I foresee. But if we could bring on another me that has better connections that are more towards the Pittsburgh area or down towards West Virginia, and we grow out that way. So I think growth is going to happen. We just all have to be on board and on the same page and have a game plan set.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Do you guys have Matt? Do you have any questions for them?
Actually, there was one thing that Paul said to me when he got here. When he first called into Arsenal, Aaron picked up the main line, and he was not expecting the owner of our company just to pick up and just be able to meet right off the rip. I thought that was a pretty good statement about how much Aaron does care about this company, and I thought that was hilarious that he picks up the main line. You call in, he'll answer.
Yeah, I watched those videos, and I was pretty excited about it. And I had some issues that were bugging me in the back of my mind. What can we find somebody better? What can we do? Who's out there? And he jumps on the phone at lunchtime, and walks up. Must have been to the sales floor. Walked up to some people, and then this guy does that and then he said, "Yeah, go online and you can pick the person that works with you." That's pretty confident that you got a good team of people that know what the heck they're doing. And we did, and Matt delivered. And, there's a little luck involved in that, a little coincidence. But, now it's part of our growth strategy. So, yeah.
I guess to piggyback off that, Paul, do you remember anything in particular as to why you chose Matt as your sales rep versus other videos on the site?
I'm easily entertained. But when I watched that video, I felt like I can understand this guy. I get it. He's the right blend of casual, professional, but he's a real, genuine person. And in sales, your personality is going to come out. And I'm like, I think he could sit down right in our office right now and be one of our people and talk to our kind of customers. So you can't be too polished, you can't be too stiff. You got to be just the right mix. And I was like, that's the guy. And the video did it. I've been in sales management in the past, and getting updates from your people is difficult. But it puts projects right in front of you every Friday, so Monday, what the heck are we doing here, guys? So that's how that relationship goes. And anytime I call or email, provided he's not on with a prospect, he's there for us.
Okay. All right. And kind of tell us your relationship working with Evan.
I mean, I'll kind of start with that one. I know you're asking them, but they mostly deal with Matt. I mean, I touch base with you guys, about once a quarter or so, just to make sure that we're not taking anything for granted. They've always been pretty happy with what Matt's doing, but never want to take that for granted. I know when there's some higher level conversations, they'll reach out to me, but my end has been, again, mostly these four working together.
Yeah, I think the important thing with Evan is that he's there if you need him, and he's not pushing in a place where we don't need him. So we don't ever hesitate. If we need it, we're calling, and we get responses right back right away. And it goes more towards, the whole reason we're down here is strategic. Where are we going next?
Yep.
And there's two perspectives. Matt's the discipline every week, every day. And Evans is more the strategic and the growth and where are we going next with this thing, guys. So,
all right. Well, is there anything left on the table that anybody had to ask anybody? Anything that you just feel like now's the time? No?
I don't have anything.
How was lunch? What do you guys think about lunch?
That was good. Yeah.
yeah.
What do you guys think about the whole kind of town that we're in right now? Was it what you expected at all?
No.
Country club territory is not what we expected.
When I saw St. Louis, I'm like, all right, I'll go to the city for a day and get out of here.
Somewhere where it smells like hops.
All right. Well, before we head out, I guess one thing, what are you guys looking forward to most out of, when you get back into the sales cycle? What are you looking forward to when you get back?
Fat checks.
Yeah. Closing some deals? Yeah. Do you guys have appointments set next week or the week after that you're looking forward to?
Nonstop.
Anything big or crazy that you know of at the top?
Decent size.
Say a few things.
Yeah.
I think we're going into the year. Brandon updated me that it looks like we got a bigger backlog than we've had in a long time. Is that right, Brandon?
Yeah, it's one more job, probably in the largest spring backlog we've ever had.
Yeah. So there's that consistency and confidence once again. So, yeah.
I think Matt's excited for a lot of that snow to start melting and roofs to start leaking.
Oh, it's melted. It's
for you,
gone.
so
Yeah, it's the same temperature there as this year. It's supposed to get down to 28 degrees-ish Monday, Tuesday. So St. Patrick's Day, Tuesday, it'll be pretty cold. But then after that, it jumps back up in the 60s. We're good. We're going to ride it out. And in another month, it'll be 78-degree weather.
And then we spent, 2 hours this morning just going through all the leads we've developed over the last 2 years, seeing who needs follow-ups for the spring. Found, several million in proposals we're planning on following up with. So that's pretty exciting too.
Yeah, that's real exciting to know that we see we got a problem there. We can improve, and we're going at something saying, okay, we got one focus for improvement, and that's that follow-up and potentially lead nurturing that we were letting fall off the table for years. So that's a big deal.
All right, and so you guys are about to kind of jump into. You're at the beginning of your heavy season for roofing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys are just looking at the forefront of everything about to unfold for 2026, really.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm wishing you guys luck for 2026. I know you guys are going to kill it. Matt, I know you're going to kill it too. So with that, I'll go ahead and lead you guys out.
Appreciate
All
you.
right, thanks.
Thank you guys for visiting.
Thanks for having us.